Al Gore. You may remember Al Gore, also failed presidential candidate, who has run around and made millions and millions of dollars making people think that the sky is falling. Al Gore also gave a talk. Now, you're going to see this video of Al Gore. If you haven't seen Al Gore lately, you're going to think this is a man wearing an Al Gore suit. But we confirm this is actually video of Al Gore. Take a look.
Enough already. Enough. And I don't want to get sidetracked onto what needs to happen, but we need to scale up climate finance, but we need desperately to scale down anti-climate finance. And we are still subsidizing the burning of fossil fuels globally at a rate 42 times larger than the subsidies for the shift toward renewables and EVs, et cetera. We need new leadership at the World Bank. We need them to scale up the leverage and vastly increase the amounts that are committed. And we need to rein in the anti-climate activities of the fossil industry.
Oh, they need to rein in those activities of those of us who want gas stoves. So do you see how these things are all connected? And yes, that actually is Al Gore. Apparently not wearing a fat suit. That's just what's happened to him. It looks like he's filled with jelly. Okay, you'd think you'd be cutting down on the eating if you really cared about the environment, right? You'd think you'd be doing that, Al Gore. Al Gore, by the way, if you want to talk about grifters and charlatans, please Google this. Al Gore, when he left the White House as Bill Clinton's VP, he started a cable channel called Current TV that some of you may remember. It was a complete failure of a cable channel. It was going to be like a lefty socialist sort of Bernie Sanders new media cable news channel, like to compete with CNN and MSNBC and Fox, et cetera. Using all of his connections as vice president, he was able to get on all the cable channels. So you could get on Comcast, you could get on DirecTV, et cetera, et cetera. That's the hard part of building a cable channel, right? Because you have to have all of the connections. So he leveraged his connections as vice president to get on all the cable channels. He creates a failure of a network. The network never made money. The programming was awful. Nobody was watching. Then, you know what he did, Al Gore? Google this. Please Google this. He sold Current TV, which was worth nothing except that it had access to the cable channels. It had nothing that anyone was buying. Nobody was buying the programming. Nobody was buying any of the stuff that they had created. He sold it for $500 million to Qatar. Yeah, he sold it to Al Jazeera, which is obviously state-sponsored media from Qatar. Qatar, if I'm not mistaken, is the #2 exporter of fossil fuels. How bizarre that Al Gore did that.